NVIDIA stock investors got some interesting news today from Google, with the company mentioned that they both have the GB200 and B200 cloud systems running, and they are the first cloud provider to do so. Then we got some interesting news from Microsoft as they announced this pretty cool generative AI model for the video game market, and then they kind of shocked the world with their own quantum computing chip. We also have some other updates talking about NVIDIA. So in today's episode, we're going to cover all that and more. Like always, this is going to be the best place you're going to get any NVIDIA and AI and semiconductor news. So let's get started. But check out fool.com/Jose for my special offer, and check out my free daily semiconductor newsletter, whatthechipHappened.com. So let's get started.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so NVIDIA is reporting earnings about 1 week away. And like you guys know, this is going to be the best place you're going to get any NVIDIA coverage. Now, there are a lot of things that I think we're going to hear during the earnings side. The first is probably going to be during the Q&A session, more discussions and more kind of understanding about the demand for Blackwell. More importantly, is there any real issues with the GB200 that we keep hearing? A second topic, in my opinion, that we're going to hear a lot about is going to be about the quantum market. As we saw early in January during CES, that NVIDIA CEO mentioned that quantum computing is about 15 to 30 years away. And like we're going to see in today's episode, Microsoft kind of threw maybe some shots earlier when they mentioned that quantum computing is actually more just a few years away and not decades away, right? So we also have NVIDIA kind of having a quantum day during their GTC event. So it's going to be a very, very interesting Q&A session, and GTC is going to be very good about kind of the quantum computing. Now, as a long-term investor of NVIDIA, I am not worried about quantum computing for NVIDIA, as they already provide a lot of software solution, a lot of the hybrid quantum computing solutions that you need for quantum computing. And I think NVIDIA, if they see this as a market, they're going to continue to innovate in this space. Now, before we kind of jump into the quantum news, though, I want to take a closer look at recent news from Google Cloud. So Google Cloud is announcing their A4X virtual machines powered by NVIDIA's GB200 now in preview. So usually when they mention now in preview, these are kind of like the early instances that are going up. So they are now excited about the GB200 NVL72, a system consisting of 72 NVIDIA Blackwell GPUs. Now, Google Cloud is the first and only cloud provider today to offer both the A4 VMs, which are powered by NVIDIA's B200 GPUs, and A4X VMs, which are the GB200 NVL72. Now, if you've been watching this channel, you guys know that I'm very, very bullish on Google. I think Google is actually the best cloud server provider out right now when you compare it to Amazon and Microsoft. And the main reason is that they have a grade A class on chip design and also system design, right? They're able to build their AI infrastructure at rapid levels. I mean, they know how to build massive, massive AI clusters. We've seen them doing it with their TPUs, and we kind of see them being ahead of the curve here with the Blackwell platform, because they are definitely one of the best players in building infrastructure solution. And I think that's going to go a long way in the AI market. So if I was to only bet or invest in one cloud computing stock right now, or cloud infrastructure stock, it would be Alphabet out of kind of the big players. I think this one's gonna be a major surprise. And year to date, the stock is up it is down roughly 1%. Now, NVIDIA's kind of GB200 and NVL72 is expected to be kind of the best platform for low latency responses for multimodal reasoning across concurrent inferences requests. The main reason is NVIDIA, you have 72 Blackwell GPUs acting as one single unit, thanks to the high bandwidth communication about them. And I think this is what's going to make this platform such a strong market product for the world. As right now, we're kind of going into this multi-model reasoning, time and scaling, and the 72 Blackwell GPU from the NVL 72 is going to be a monster about that. Now, we also see that this is going to be 4x increase in large language model training performance versus the NVIDIA's H100. Now, Google kind of actually even broke down what is the right way to kind of look at the B200 and the GB200. So the GB200, which is the NVL 72 system, is purpose built for training and serving the most demanding extra large scale AI workloads, particularly those involving reasoning models, large language models with long context windows, and scenarios that require massive concurrency. Now, the B200 is more of kind of a well-rounded approach, is excellent performance and versatile for diverse AI model architectures and workloads, include training, fine-tuning, and serving. So the B200 is a more general approach, where the GB200 is more meant for those heavy AI workloads, for those AI training, and kind of large reasoning models right now. What gets me excited about this is with this type of computational power, I think we're going to see a huge improvement in a lot of AI solutions. And one great way to kind of look at this is now we're going to move over to Microsoft. So Microsoft today announced Muse, which is their first generative AI model designed for gameplay ideation. So it kind of, if you go through their thing, they kind of showcase how AI is designing and being consistent in generating gameplay examples. And these samples are actually even also generated to have user controller, which is pretty impressive. So I think this is important because it showcases what kind of computational power is needed to kind of go into further steps. And the reason that is because obviously this is not something that's super exciting for the mass consumer. So originally, this team that was working with this was using V100 GPUs, which is two generations. It was the generation before Hopper. And they were kind of using that to train, but then they were able to scale up to H100s. And with H100s and more training data, the ability of them generating multiple seconds of gameplay and being consecutive increased dramatically. Here we can see with 1 million training updates, which obviously needs a lot a lot of computational power, they were able to do so much more than just 10K training updates. So now imagine as computational power gets stronger, what would a 10 million training update looks like? What a 100 million training updates look like, right? And this is something that's multimodality, from user control, from video, from text, and the list goes on and on. But it kind of gets you thinking, all right, this is for video game ideation creation. What are Can we think of all the other AI models that are happening all over the world? What happens when you train them with more computational power? How much better they can get over time? So I think this is what got me pretty excited about this. It's not necessarily the large language model of game creation or game ideation, but it's more the data point that showcases that the more compute power that you have, the better your training model can get and the more solutions you can provide with it. And again, you can kind of take that into all the other AI models. Now, the next thing we see is Microsoft did announce their quantum computing chip. Microsoft's Majorana, I believe is what they called it. Majorana 1 chip carves a new path for quantum computing. And this is the world's first quantum chip powered by new topological core architecture that it expects will realize quantum computing capable of solving meaningful industrial scale problems in years, not decades. All right. So I want to say that's a little bit of a shot, in my opinion, to Jensen. As Jensen mentioned, that quantum computing is about 2 to 3 decades away, depending on how you're looking at things, right? This kind of showcases that Microsoft maybe believes that's going to be a little bit earlier. And this might create some fear for AI computing and AI chips like NVIDIA. I want to say I don't think that's necessarily the case, as we all should know that quantum computing are meant to solve different types of problems. And they even share it here in this presentation. Most of all, quantum computing could allow engineers, scientists, companies, and others to simply design things right the first time, which would be transformative for everything from healthcare to product development. The power of quantum computing combined with AI tools would allow someone to describe what kind of new material or molecule they want to create in plain language and get an answer that works right away. No guesswork or years of trial and error. And the quantum computing teaches the AI the language of nature so that AI can just tell you the recipe for what you want to make. So here we can kind of see this hybrid quantum computing approach where you need both some form of AI solutions, AI chip, classical computing, and quantum computers as well. Even throughout the video where they did about a 12-minute portion, about a 2-minute talk is how quantum and classic computers will work together. So I think as of right now, there is really no worry for quantum computers in my opinion, but it's definitely something that investors should kind of keep a closer eye out. Now, like I mentioned, Nvidia is big in quantum computing, right? They have various solutions here in the quantum computing market. And this is why I believe the next Nvidia for quantum computing will actually be Nvidia as they are innovating. And Jensen has a huge amount of research and development, and they are an accelerating company. So if they want to, they probably have teams working in quantum computing already. I've done plenty of videos before of how quantum computing is something that Jensen and the team have been discussing for multiple years already. But I do believe once this starts to really get an era, I wouldn't be shocked that NVIDIA is a top player in this space. So that's all I have here for NVIDIA in forms of Google and Microsoft. There are some other news that I wanted to cover, but I think the episode is getting a little bit long. So I will do another episode either early tomorrow or later tonight, kind of explaining some of the other things that I have been reading about NVIDIA. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I don't think I mentioned it during this episode, but the subscribe button goes a long way. I'm trying to hit 75,000 subs by the end of the year. I'm hoping we can do it. So take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.